How's it going, guys?
How are we doing, everyone?
Welcome to what are we at now? Episode 6?
Is it six?
I think it's 6, man. That's kind of crazy to think about. Remember when we had our first one?
Yeah, the first one wasn't. It's been flying by. It's been great.
I don't know. And I think we've been pretty consistent. I think every week we've done one.
Yeah, I
We got,
mean,
we got to get more consistent with the time, I think.
yeah, I think it would really help everyone if we set a. I think we want to do. I think Wednesdays are fine, but I think maybe in the near future we can get an actual set time for everyone.
Yeah, just so there's always a time when you can tune in and watch and just it's consistent. Yeah, how's your week been, man?
The week's been a little bit busy. I mean, finals are coming up, so kind of hunkering down, getting a lot of stuff done. Just a lot of class, a lot of school, like always. How was Thanksgiving break?
It wasn't too bad. It went by pretty quick, but I'm still at home. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, COVID, you can't really predict anything or nothing's going to be normal. So made the best out of Thanksgiving, and I mean, it was kind of weird. What about you? What'd you do for Thanksgiving?
I mean, just chilled with the fam, man. Just family first, you know. Good food, good vibes. Yeah, I mean, it was a great week.
All right, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Like, what do you
So that's really tough because, um, I don't know, man. I think mashed potatoes are super underrated. Um, I think even ham during Thanksgiving underrated too. But I
Mm.
mean, I gotta go with turkey, man. I gotta go with the main dish. You can't beat a good turkey on Thanksgiving.
All right. I mean, see, I'm not the biggest turkey guy. I'm more of a chicken. I like rotisserie chicken a little bit more, but I mean, turkey will do the trick. But yeah, I'm a huge mashed potatoes and gravy.
Yep.
I like to stay away from the other stuff like the stuffing and all that.
You can't
All
get
that
into the
jazz.
stuffing.
No, but I'll always go back for seconds on the pumpkin pie for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, you can make the argument that Thanksgiving desserts may be better than Christmas desserts. Like, I don't know. It's close.
I mean, what is a Christmas dessert? Just like
I
the
mean,
cookies?
like Christmas cookies, like gingerbread houses. Like, I don't know. I think I'd value a good like pumpkin pie over some cookies. I don't know.
For sure, yeah. Pumpkin pie is definitely like it's really seasonal. Like you only are having pumpkin pie
See,
on Thanksgiving.
that's the thing with Thanksgiving. I feel like Thanksgiving and Christmas are the two holidays that like you actually feel like you're part of that season. Like Halloween's like one of those holidays where like yeah, it's in the fall, but it like doesn't really have to do with the season. And like Easter, like it's in the spring, but it doesn't have to do with the season. But like when you're sitting down for Thanksgiving meal, you can feel that it's like it's fall time. You got the turkeys. Christmas, you got the snow, presents.
I mean, yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head there with your with your holiday rankings there.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I would go Christmas then Thanksgiving, but
Really, I think I don't know Thanksgiving. I think the nice part about it is the family aspect of it. But other than that, I mean, it's just kind of another day. You don't have school. That's nice. Football is usually pretty bad on that day.
yeah, we don't have the best. We didn't have the. What was the lineup this year? It wasn't too great.
So it was Houston Lions, right?
Yep, that was one of the games.
And then it was
Or we were
Cowboys.
supposed to have was it weren't we supposed to have the Ravens game or something? But
Yeah, it's supposed to
then
be
the
Ravens Steelers, but COVID got in the way there.
yeah, and that game's tonight actually. I think Wednesday.
Yeah, who do you got winning that?
I'm gonna go Steelers just because I can't really bet against a 10-0 team, and I think the Ravens have been a little lackluster actually on offense this year, which is surprising because they were one of the best offensive teams last year. I don't know, they just don't seem to have the firepower that they did last year.
Yeah, I think they're kind of starting to figure out Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I
And
think their two tight end sets. Like I don't know if it. The difference was last year they had Hayden Hurst too with Mark Andrews. Now they just have Mark Andrews, and I think I don't know. Yeah, I don't think Lamar is pushing the ball down the field as much as he did last year.
no, so but I'm thinking if the Steelers are to lose a game, I think this might be the one.
Yeah, it'll be a great matchup for sure.
People are quick to forget just how good that the Ravens have been in the last like 2 years. Like they're coming having like a little rough patch right now.
Yeah.
But I mean they've been pretty consistently good in the last 3 years.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get it clicking tonight. It'll be tough. Steelers are one of the best defenses in the league, so
Which
see
is
if they can
kind
get
of
it going.
it's kind of hilarious to me how Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers are still like always just so good.
Yeah, the Steelers are one of those under. I was talking about this with some guys earlier, and Mike Tomlin like gets none of the credit as like Belichick or Bruce Arians or Andy Reid do. You literally never hear of Tomlin in those conversations when he's realistically been up there with Belichick as being consistently good.
For 10 years. Like they've
Yeah,
always and he always is recycling. He's never has the same he always has different guys and everything and he's just always consistently up there on top.
yeah, I 100% agree.
Except for when he's tripping players. Have you seen that?
I I did see that video. That was kind of crazy.
I think that might have been his lowest moment as a coach,
Yeah, that might have been one of his wrongdoings.
but that's all right. So what do you got to say about the Vikings right now? I mean, Kirk Vember just ended and he was ranked second in passer rating, I think, in the NFL. BB, Ted BB. Did you see that little
I
movie
saw,
like ending?
I saw his yeah. So the Vikings game against the Panthers was interesting because it seemed like Carolina was just running away with that game after the two fumble recoveries by I think his name's Jeremy Chin, the rookie.
Jeremy
But
Chin.
yeah,
What?
he two consecutive plays. He got a
Yeah.
fumble return for a touchdown, which is insane. But yeah, Chad Beebe at the end muffed the punt, and I literally thought, okay, they just lost the game on Chad Beebe's muff punt. But little bad clock management by the
Oh, we're
Panthers.
losing her.
Uh oh, we are.
Oh wait, I think you're back. I think you're back.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys heard, but I thought it was poor clock management by the Panthers in general, just
Oh,
throwing the
totally.
ball when they didn't have to. So I mean, they gave Kirk a chance and he drove the ball right down the field, so props to them.
Yeah, and like what people forget about BB is that like on the first punt of the game, he got lit up. Did you see that? He fair caught
Yeah.
it and just got lit up.
Yep.
Like that was one of the most violent plays I've ever seen in a football game.
He's
And
such a
he
tiny
and
guy. He scares me punt returning.
he's first one in, last one out. He's probably coach's kid. Uh but dude, he got lit up. So how are you expecting him to go out there and take another punt and return another punt when he just got lit up? So obviously that's why he muffed it. And he might have had a concussion too.
Maybe that played a part into it.
So I'm not making excuses for BB, but once he muffed that punt, I was like, all right, there he goes. That's the last time we'll ever see Chad BB. He's about to get cut.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he made up for it with the game-winning touchdown, and Vikings are it's going to be tough. But you actually, both the NFC fringe teams lost. I think the Cardinals lost, so that may have opened up a NFC wildcard spot. So, I mean, the Bears and the Vikings are not out of the hunt yet, but
Hmm.
we'll see what
I,
happens.
I think the Vikings definitely have a better shot here at
I
getting
think
it
so.
done.
Because
Yeah.
I think that'll be a really important game, the Bears Vikings game coming up.
I mean, what happened last time though for you guys?
I mean, that's true. That's true. Bad quarterback play. I mean, we were
um,
inches away from winning that game, though. If Nick Foles would have put it on the money, that would have been game.
yeah, but now you got Trombonski coming in there.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
What I guess apparently you said you were a big Mitch fan all throughout. You wanted him to be the starter.
At the beginning of the season, I wanted Mitch in there, and he won his two games. He got the start, and obviously it's kind of tough after sitting that long to come in and just play Aaron Rodgers and the Packers at Lambeau. So no one was expecting us to win that game, but the second half did look a lot better. They kind of woke up a little bit and at least put up a respectable 25.
Yeah, I mean you say at Lambeau, but were there any fans at Lambeau?
They actually opened it up for a few, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers owns Lambeau Field.
He does. He does. Um, So I saw something on Instagram a couple days ago that the NFL might add a playoff spot if they keep canceling games. Did you see anything about that?
Yeah, I don't know what the details are, but they said they were going to add one more wild card spot, I believe, if a couple more games get canceled. So let's hope and pray that happens.
Because yeah, that way then I think the Vikings should definitely make it into the playoffs if there's an extra spot. I don't see how we don't make it.
Yeah, for sure. I think they got a couple divisional games coming up that they got to win, and yeah, it'll be interesting. See who maybe could sneak into that spot.
Yeah, what do you think about the Broncos situation?
Um,
Quarterback situation.
I think it was so the Broncos um said to the NFL they tried to apply for the game to get rescheduled, and the NFL rejected it obviously, which I think it's the right call. I mean, you can't just beg the NFL to not cancel a game because your quarterbacks weren't following COVID protocols correctly. And the other thing with that was interesting too is they wanted to play their assistant quarterback coach at QB.
Are you
So
kidding me?
the no, the NFL
Like, coach?
also yeah, they tried to actually file to get him to play, but the NFL didn't let that happen. I think that's also probably good because then honestly you could stock staff with players. Like I don't know.
Oh, you could put like Calvin Johnson as your wide receiver coach and then bring him back.
Yeah, and then if something ever yeah, it's like it's on that premise. Like I don't think you should be able to do that. So I think it was good by the NFL not to like the Broncos. Those four quarterbacks weren't wearing masks and they weren't following COVID protocols and they got sick. I mean, it's what happens. It was obviously a poor showing. I think he went 1 for 9 with 13 yards and 2 picks. But I
I
mean,
mean, what do you
were they
expect?
really going to win against the Saints anyway?
I mean, what do you expect though from that guy? Did he even play quarterback in high school or what? When is the last time
Uh,
he?
he went to Wake Forest. I think he played 3 years there before converting to a wide receiver his fourth year. But like that's so tough to just like guy has not practiced that position in years.
Dude, okay, he looked like a guy who's never played quarterback. Some of those throws, man, the interception that they keep showing on ESPN, like that was one of the worst throws I've ever seen.
You also got to keep into account he's a practice squad guy too that they brought up.
So does this affect his NFL career at all? Do you think that like when he's
Oh,
trying to get
100%. Like people are gonna only remember him for coming in and throwing 2 picks and 13 yards.
but from the way I see it, I think that really shows like that's kind of what you want though. Like you want a guy who doesn't care. Like he knew he was going to play terrible, but he just wanted the shot. You know
Yeah, he
what I
just
mean?
wanted to go out there and throw the ball.
So I mean that if he's a decent wide receiver, this could actually be a good thing for him. You know?
Yeah, maybe they can run a few trick plays. Maybe if you're at the spot.
Well, not at quarterback. Hopefully not.
No, hopefully not.
What if he would have won that game? How would that what like how would you take that as a Saints fan if you were a Saints fan?
I mean, you'd have to rethink a lot of things if you were a Saints fan and that quarterback beat you.
So like so say you're one of the cornerbacks that got an interception in that game. How like do you count that as an interception or are you just gonna is it have an asterisk on the record book?
No, man. Hey, a pick's a pick. If they're gonna if you're in an NFL game and they're gonna bring in somebody to throw the ball and you pick them off, hey, it counts.
All right. Hey, that's a good way to look at it, man. It's crazy. What do you think about the Broncos? Or not the Broncos, the Buccaneers.
They, I don't believe are a real Super Bowl contender for a couple of reasons. I think Tom Brady is actually having a Tony Romo. If you guys watch the game, was actually talking about this. Brady's been making decent throws. His receivers, this is like the highest drop rate he's ever had with his receivers, and this is the most pressure he's ever had. Like
Mhm.
his knockdowns and stuff. I wouldn't say it's not that the team isn't talented enough because that offense can be, but I think they need another season to get more because you can tell on the field they do not have chemistry.
No, it's hard to watch. It just looks like a bunch. It looks like an all-star game. Just like they got a bunch of stars, but they have no chemistry, and I think they almost have too much talent on that team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think it's tough when Antonio Brown's your fourth wide receiver. Like I don't know who it just seems like Tom Brady whoever he throws the ball to does not make the play. Like they just I don't know what it is. I don't know. He's putting the balls on the money. It's just I don't know.
but he's not having his best.
No, not. I think he's having a good enough season to where he could bring them to the Super Bowl. He's done that before on not. I wouldn't really say off seasons because he's a great quarterback, but on not his best seasons. But it's just there in that system. He had Belichick. Now he does not have Belichick.
Yeah, and I heard that the Bucks have been running a lot of old Patriots plays.
Have they?
Yeah, so that like that kind of like settles the argument. Like, but see, I don't know who was it. Was it Belichick or was it Brady or was it the
I
combination?
think. I think they're both great people on their own, but both of them would not be the legends they are today without each other. Belichick would not be the greatest football coach of all time, and Tom Brady would not be the greatest quarterback of all time if they didn't have each other for 20 seasons.
See, and that's the thing that kind of makes me angry. Like, why can't it just be that? Why does it have to be one of them was like carrying the other one? Why can't they just like?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they both needed each other to win that many rings.
yeah, man. I don't know what's going on with Cam. There was so much hype around Cam Newton signing with the Patriots, and
Well,
then
the first game, I thought the Patriots were making the Super Bowl again. They looked fantastic with Cam Newton, but it looks terrible. I don't know how they beat the Cardinals.
it's just, he's just. I mean, he never like people like to forget that he just he wasn't good in his last few years at the Panthers.
No, that's the reason Kyle Allen came in.
Yeah, like people like to forget, and they're saying like teams won't sign him, but like there's a reason teams wouldn't sign him because he wasn't the greatest quarterback towards the end of
I
his like
think,
stint
yeah,
there.
I think part of that's definitely like he's an injury prone quarterback. He gets his shoulders hurt a lot, so I mean he's a little worn down.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. It's nice to see the Patriots not on top right now, but you know,
It's a little weird to see the Dolphins on top and then the Bills. Like the Bills are on top, but it's going to be weird to see the Dolphins potentially in the playoffs.
it's Tua time, man.
It's too it's
He's got an injured left pinky or thumb right now, so I don't know.
what did you think about Fitzpatrick coming in?
He can't. I didn't see, man. I honestly I
Yeah,
didn't.
so I they tried to bring Fitzmagic in to lead the fourth quarter comeback, and he actually threw a touchdown, but it was just too late. They couldn't win the game. But yeah, Tua got pulled in the fourth, but he didn't lose his job or anything. He started the next game and they won. But or well, Fitzpatrick started the next game, but I guess that was just because he was injured, obviously. But yeah, I mean he's still the starter, I guess.
I mean, yeah, you got to go with Tua, but it is nice to see Fitzmagic getting another run at it. You know, just love to see that.
Try to get some magic out of him in the fourth quarter, but
Hey,
guess it didn't work out.
all right, so I got a topic for you. This is something that's been taking up a lot of my time just on YouTube. I just can't stop watching this guy, and I think you've watched a few of his videos, but what do you think about John Boy Media?
I absolutely love John Boy Media. I don't know if anybody watches him in our stream, but he does these really funny baseball breakdowns. So like what he'll do is he'll take a clip, like a funny clip, or sometimes even normal clips, and he'll make them funny because he commentates them hilariously. So like even if you guys don't like baseball, I would really check out his channel. It's really funny.
No, like it's honestly like one of the funniest. Like every single video he makes, and now he's in the off season right now, so he's making videos on like other sports that he never would before. So he does like I watched a video today. It was a 400-pound man fighting a 150-pound woman.
Yeah, I mean
And
he'll
like,
do these even during the regular season for baseball. He'll do what it's called Fun Sport Friday, and like one of them was where like these guys ride on horseback and like toss like human heads and different like it's so weird. Like he'll just do a bunch of random sports on Fridays.
yeah, dude, and he just like he makes like watching baseball fun. You're right, and he just like he'll do like lip reading. So like the coach will come out and talk to the pitcher, and he'll just like say what he thinks like they're talking
And
about. Even though
it's mostly accurate, honestly, sometimes.
I mean, yeah, a little bit. But no, I also watched foosball. He and just yeah,
Yeah,
he will do
they're
that.
great for sure. I think he's definitely a leader in one of the I don't know. I think there's definitely a make baseball fun again movement to try to. I don't know. I think youth just like when we were kids that baseball was like our main sport. Like that's what we love to watch. We love to watch the Twins, but I feel like the youth growing up, I don't know, they're just not into baseball as the past generations have been. So they have to find a way to kind of make it fun again. And I think people like John Boy are a good face to have
Yeah.
that.
Do you know what happened to baseball?
What do you think happened?
Two things. I think that the attention span of kids is getting lower, and I think lacrosse happened. At least where we're from. So many people would rather play lacrosse than baseball just because it's so much so much more high paced and stuff.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I think, yeah, I don't know. I think like it's the same with like when earlier in the season there was an incident where Tatis hit the home run on the 3-0 pitch, and the opposing manager got mad at him, and they tried to throw at him. Why can't you bat flip, or why can't you? I don't know. The unwritten rules of baseball just make it kind of like an old man sport.
Yeah, but there's something comforting about that. I think it just kind of gives me a comfort. Like watching baseball, just like sitting down and watching a baseball game is just like a
In
very
the
relaxed.
summer, yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when I'm older, I think I'm definitely going to be watching like just like paying attention to like the Twins like super like in depthly, or like just watching every game, or just because I feel like that's something you can really get into.
Yeah, definitely. I love watching baseball. I 100% get why it's one of the harder sports to watch, but I think it's just because people don't understand like the intricacies of just the mental battle going on between the batter and the pitcher at the plate. I think there's a lot of things that go into it that people just don't realize.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how like people are just so easy to say like, oh yeah, baseball is such an easy sport, and then baseball like is boring. But then like if they were to actually play in a baseball game, I think that their whole perspective would just completely flip.
It is a really tough game. Yeah.
So you see, yeah, I mean, you saw one of the best athletes of all time try to go step in and play baseball with the White Sox and Michael Jordan, and that really showed that it's not the easiest sport. You can't just pick up baseball and just be successful automatically.
Yeah, I think there's a thing to say when like one of the if not the greatest baseball player of all time in Mike Trout. I think it's cool when you fail when like even the best players fail at least 3 times out of 10. Like if you're gonna fail 3 times out of 10 at the plate, it takes a lot of courage to go up there and get the hit in the clutch spot.
Wait, fail seven out of
Or fail 7 out of the
yeah,
10
even
times. Yeah, you're only gonna like that's. I think that's pretty cool how you're only gonna. It's extremely hard to succeed in a game. So I think failing upon failing is very good for your character.
oh for sure. What do you think is going to need to happen to make baseball fun again, like you're talking about, or make it more of a mainstream sport? Because I feel like it's always going to be there, and I feel like it's just kind of in a low patch right now. But I think that it's just tied to our country, and I think it'll come back.
Yeah, so I think first of all, in the Central American companies or countries and the South American countries, it's a ginormous. Right behind soccer, it's probably the second most popular sport. Um, you see a lot of those Central American players are really popular where they're from and stuff like that. And yeah, I think baseball right now, I think players like Tatis and Trout are great. I think those highlights come on to like Bleacher Report and ESPN when people are bat flipping and hitting bombs. So I think it's a good thing that more players are hitting home runs like that, and I think they need more excitement like that. Like I think you should be able to celebrate and stuff because I think that is what kids like. They like to see a huge bat flip and just a bomb launched out to left field. Like who doesn't like to see that? So I mean,
Yeah.
like I don't know what that would entail because pitching is the greatest it's ever been. Trying to hit some of those pitchers is incredible. So I think you have to relax on the celebrations, relax a little on the unwritten rules, and kind of just let them play. And I think once the health concerns come, because I'm not gonna lie, I think football as a sport will probably be gone in the next 20 to 30 years, just due to health issues with like the CTE stuff starting to pop up is extremely scary
Mhm.
because if your sports expected career span is 2 to 3 years, that's it says something because a lot of those players are coming out of the league with CTE and different traumatic injuries to different parts of their body, mostly their head. I don't think that's going to be able to last. I don't know.
I could definitely see that happening, and then you have all those great athletes that instead of playing football, they might start playing baseball again,
Yeah,
which might be
you definitely see. I think I thought I read somewhere that this is one of the lower youth football enrollment rates ever because
Mhm.
injuries are starting to become more prevalent.
Yeah, so that's how it's gonna end. Kids are just gonna stop playing.
Yeah,
And then so there, yeah. Also I think it just takes like one or two big stars in the MLB. I think that's all it really would take to start bringing it up. And not like Mike Trout, like he's a phenomenal player, but he doesn't really have like a personality. You need like a guy with a person like you need someone with a huge personality.
yeah, and
Huge ego.
I think a guy that did that actually a couple years ago when the Cubs won the World Series was Javi Baez. He kind of had that really fun personality, and it kind of that Cubs World Series was
Mhm.
really good for viewership. There was a lot of people watching that because LeBron got into it. He started cheering for the Cleveland Indians, and D Wade started cheering for the Cubs, and it was stuff. It was just stuff like that.
LeBron's always
Yeah,
always cheering for the team in the world because wasn't he cheering for the Dodgers this year?
yep, he was going for the Dodgers.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think definitely the sports is not going to be the same in 20 years as it is right now. I
No,
think we're going to see a lot of changes, and it's kind of weird to think about, but just like I definitely can see it happening.
yeah, I think eventually, right now, obviously, football is has taken over the American sports heavily. I think everyone's mostly favorite sport to watch is football, like for a good reason. It's amazing sport to watch, but I think maybe in the future when football becomes a little less prevalent due to injuries, I think the NBA will probably take over the viewership.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And now we're starting to get a lot of social media presence coming into the NBA because before you had these huge social media characters all over social media when they were in high school or middle school, and now they're all starting to get into the NBA. So now I feel like this is when it's finally catching up, and now the NBA is going to be huge.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think generally players like Steph Curry, I and Stephon Marbury too. I think he was a big influencer in bringing basketball over to China and Asia
Mhm.
as a whole. So I think a lot of the Asian countries are more into basketball than they've ever been. You see like players like Luka and Kristaps with Slovenia and Lithuania, and Spain has always been huge on basketball. I think it's becoming a more worldwide sport, and I think that's why basketball keeps growing.
Yeah, because it's such an easy sport to play. You don't need to be outside. You don't need a certain like climate to play it. You just need a hoop, and you can even be outdoors. You can be anywhere. It's cheap. You just need a hoop and a ball.
I think
And I
that's a
feel
huge thing. It's definitely one of those sports. It's really cheap to play, and it's one of those things that I think everyone can do. Like grown men can go play pickup basketball. They've never played it before.
well, I mean,
They they can play, but I mean
yeah,
it's one of those sports that's just fun to even shoot around.
for sure. Yeah, and you don't need anyone. You can just go shoot baskets by yourself. You don't need to have someone like to play catch with because you can literally just do it just by yourself, and that's how you can get better. So yeah, I definitely could see in the next few. I could just see basketball taking over the sports scene over football. But
Yeah, for sure.
a huge social media thing for basketball has been the Ball family in the last couple of years, you know. And today, just about 2 hours ago, sorry, I was clicking my pen there. There's some huge news with Leangelo, the odd duck, the middle child. He just signed a deal with the Pistons, and
Yeah, he signed an Exhibit 10, I think, contract. So if he makes it through training camp and makes the roster, he'll get a 1 year deal, and then all three Ball brothers be in the NBA. And then, like we've been saying, man, LeVar could be a genius.
no, we've already decided that he is a genius. Uh,
Yeah.
what so Lamelo, he's right now he's number 2 on Charlotte. That's his jersey number is 2.
Mhm.
So I think he needs. They're trying to figure out with Malik Monk if
Yeah, did you see the Twitter stuff with Lonzo and Malik Monk and how he? I think Malik might give him. Was it one? Did he want one?
yeah, he wants one. That's
I
such
don't
an
know.
that's such an awkward situation. Just imagine being like a Malik Monk. He's been in the NBA for like 3 years, I think. And imagine just having to give your jersey number to like a rookie.
Yeah, I mean, in my
Yeah.
opinion, I think
He's taking your position too.
yeah, in my opinion, I wouldn't give him like I think you've been in the league longer. You've proven you're on the team. You've been on the team. You've developed relationships. I think you should get to keep your jersey. I don't think you're required to give your jersey number to a really highly touted person. I mean, I think maybe like if there's somewhat maybe a deal going on, maybe make him play the first year, and if he impresses Malik, maybe Malik gives him the jersey or something. Maybe something like that.
I mean, but it just seems kind of like we saw with Luca. He's usually number 7, and someone was number 7 on Dallas who was not a top tier player. Luca didn't even complain. He picked a new number. I mean, I feel like
Yeah, now when you think of the number 77, you literally think right of Luka Doncic.
right. I mean, so why can't LaMelo? But the problem is he made his brand like wasn't it LaMelo Ball 1?
And it's like he has a one of one tattoo. He's kind of got like
He
his
screwed himself.
brand is about it. Yeah,
So he's yeah, and yeah, they all had their numbers. So LiAngelo was always number 3, Lonzo was always number 2, LaMelo was always number 1. So I mean, I just yeah,
I don't know. I don't. If Malik wants to give him the jersey, he gives him the jersey. If he doesn't want to, he shouldn't have to. Honestly, at the end of the day.
such an awkward situation. But yeah, going back to LiAngelo, so it's most likely going to end up in a G League situation. G
Yeah,
League contract.
I can see him because he played for was it OKC's G League team?
He never actually played because of the pandemic, but he got
Oh, okay.
signed. He got signed and he never got a chance. He's so underrated, I think, because
He's a sharpshooter, man. He really like when he was kind of the glue that held that Chino Hills team together. When they really couldn't get offense going, that's who was nailing threes.
dude, I think he might have been the leading. I don't know if he was the leading scorer, but he was one. He would score like 50 points. He would always score like 50.
Yeah,
He's so talented, and he's just
yeah,
so
man.
underlooked because he's fat and short. He's not even
I,
fat. He's skinny now. Like everyone always thought he was like chubby and like, but now he's in shape. He's like built.
yeah,
He's
man. I hope he can amount to like I think if he could be a good 3-and-D player, that'd be sick.
yeah. I mean, and now at least he's getting his chance. That's all that like you can ask for at this point. It's just at least just a shot.
Yeah,
If
most
he proved
definitely.
everyone wrong. I mean, he earned it, and that's
And can we talk about while we're on the Pistons subject? I don't know what the Pistons are doing in this offseason. I feel like they have no direction whatsoever where they want to go because they traded away Luke Kennard and the rising star and Christian Wood, and now they just signed Plumlee, and they've been signing who was the other one? They replaced the faces of their franchise with older players. I don't know what direct. I don't know. I'm a little confused. I don't know if someone can help me, but like I think everyone's a little. They had a good draft, and then they just have this terrible free agency where they got rid of their two best players besides the draft.
yeah. I think they're really betting on Killian Hayes. I think they're
Yeah,
gonna.
I guess.
I think they're thinking he's the real deal, and they're handing him the keys, and they're going for what's the Oklahoma State guy?
Oh,
I hate that. I can't. Cade Cunningham. They're
Kate
tanking
Cunningham.
tanking for Cade Cunningham, I guess, but that wouldn't make any sense because they just drafted Killian Hayes. So
Yeah, I've been watching. I don't know if you've been, but I've been kind of keeping up with the college basketball scene so far because I think the draft really got me into it. So I mean, I saw Jalen Suggs has been playing really good. Same with Cade Cunningham, but this draft class is going to be insane because you got a lot of really good players.
yeah, dude, Jalen Suggs. I'll add in there. I played him in 7th grade one time. He beat us. And a little shout out to Eli Seth. He actually was his teammate.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
yeah, I did. That's pretty crazy.
So maybe we'll get Eli on here and he can talk about what it was like, the teammate of Jalen Suggs.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people are surprised about Suggs, like his success, but like he's always been that good.
Yeah, he was always a top recruit. I think he just got overshadowed with like the Cade Cunninghams and the Jalen Greens and the Jonathan Kumingas. Like you never talked about. And now that Chet's becoming so much more popular, everyone kind of overshadowed Jalen with Chet.
Chet. Oh gosh, dude, I don't even
We'll
know
have to do a whole video on Chet.
because I don't even. I remember. I don't mean to make fun of Chet at all, but so Jacob Dalton, he was a guest of our podcast a while back, and I think I was in 7th grade maybe, and I was on Twitter, and I just saw this picture like that North Star Hoops tweeted out, like rising star Chet Holmgren, and I sent it to Jacob, and I was like, "This is the funniest looking person I've ever seen."
And now he's the number one player in the. Is he 2022?
Yeah, dude, he's scary. Like, what is he?
Slim
87?
Reaper.
The Slim Reaper, and but that the thing is though, that's all that colleges care about is height.
Yeah, man, you see a lot more of these really skinny tall kids that can shoot now. I don't know if it's just like a now thing. Like, is that what teams want? You want like a stretch four yeah.
So yeah, the ways that colleges are doing is now they don't care about if you're built because that's their job. Their job is to put weight on you. So like they don't care if you're scrawny because what they're going to do is they're going to put a bunch of weight on you. It's the same for football, like with linemen.
Yeah.
They just want height and they're going to put the weight on you. That's their job. That's what they're paid to do.
Exactly.
So like with people like Chet, like it doesn't matter that he only weighs 120 pounds. He's he's going to put on that weight in college, and honestly, not even college. It's once he gets to the NBA. You look like you have gray hair right now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this lighting. That might be a little bit better.
It's a tough look, man. Yeah, it's better. It's better. You're turning blue and gray, but for sure, man. I don't. Let's get into the. Oh, I gotta switch the banner here. This is some.
Yeah, so guys, stuff. We had a little discussion before the podcast today, and I think we want to do a Timberwolves talk segment every podcast. So I think might have to trademark that.
Timberwolves talk. Trademark.
Timberwolves talk. Yep. But, so go ahead.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is every week we're just gonna talk about. It's just gonna kind of keep everyone like updated on what's going on with the Timberwolves during the year. Because during the season, I mean, not everyone's going to have the time to watch every game. So what we're going to do is just kind of go over the games that happened that week, talk about some of the interesting storylines this week. There's some very interesting storylines.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But
yeah, so we're just going to talk about a little bit of Timberwolves every week and just make sure that we always hit it every week and just talk about it.
Yeah, so first I think we could get into the Rondae Hollis-Jefferson signing. And he's one of those guys that's only 25 years old, and he feels like he's been around the league like 15 years. And I don't know why it is, but he feels like he's been around a long time.
He seems like he's 35.
But yeah, I think it's a great signing. I think wing depth is always good, and he's a great defender. And obviously the Timberwolves need a little defense, so I think I'm happy with the signing. I think he can complement guys very well on the second team.
Yeah, plus he already has that chemistry with D'Lo from the Nets. Those were the two guys that kind of carried the Nets.
That's what D'Lo said. They interviewed him right after the Nets 2019 playoff run. He literally said Rondae Hollis-Jefferson was the glue that held that Nets team together.
See, we asked him to bring in some vets, and he's not really a vet, but
he seems like a vet.
He seems like a vet. He's got that old soul. Lefty.
Yeah.
Can he shoot? Can he shoot?
He could hit a 15-footer. I don't know if he can step outside the arc, but he can pull one through from mid range. So I think overall I really do like the Rondae Hollis-Jefferson signing. It was a 1 year, $1.2 million contract, so pretty much a minimum. And you know, if it doesn't work out this year, that's fine. So I think it's a great signing.
I mean, yeah, and we also got another key piece of that Nets team in Ed Davis.
Yeah, really stoked about that one too.
Assembling the big three from the Brooklyn Nets. It's kind of like the Minnesota Bulls, or what did they used to call us?
The Timber Bulls.
The Timber Bulls. Now the Timber Nets is what we basically are. But I'll hit you with some Rondé Hollis Jefferson trivia. Where did he go to college?
Was it Arizona?
It was. There you go. See. Um.
Yeah.
So also, what do you? So now with all these new signings, the roster's kind of getting solidified. What do you think the starting lineup's going to be in your opinion?
Yeah, so I guess we can go through both of ours of what we'd like to see. So I think first of all, I'd like to see if we're just going starting the game, we want to put up some points. We're just going out there to compete. I'd say my starting lineup would be D'Lo at the 1, Malik at the 2, Edwards at the 3, Wancho at the 4, and Cat at the 5. And I think the reason for this being all those players can step outside of the arc and hit a 3. And I think
Mhm.
the Timberwolves' philosophy is shoot threes, and space the floor and drive. I think if you have all 5 of those guys on the floor, that is, you're not going to be able to account for every single one of those guys. One of those guys is going to be able to penetrate and kick out, and there's going to be an open 3 or an open lane to drive.
See, the only problem I have with that is if we're talking the first game of the year, I think it's going to be tough to start Ant-Man in the first game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to start Rubio, man. I think you
And
got to
I can see that too. I definitely can.
for sure. That might like it's hard having Rubio and D'Lo on the court at the same time. I'm really excited to see how they're gonna handle that.
I think they're going to play off each other really well when they're on the court together. I think Rubio's a really unselfish player, and I think D'Lo will still get to carry the ball up too.
See, but how does Rubio off ball without the ball in his hands? How can he really affect the game? That's my only problem with that because I feel like he needs to be making the plays and dishing out the ball. And if he's doesn't have the ball in his hands, I feel like he might struggle a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, we'll have to see because obviously Rubio's most dangerous when he's a playmaker with the ball in his hands, and he's not the best coming off picks and shooting, but I think obviously he is an improved 3-point shooter. He's shooting at 36% from the 3, which he wasn't doing when he was on the Timberwolves the first time, so that's always a really big plus. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I think first game of the year, like you were saying, I think possibly Rubio in there is just a leader. I think could be a good for the starters, but I think it would be great for those guys on the bench in the Okogis and Culvers because I think Rubio will make those guys that much better. And then if and once Rubio leaves for good, those guys became that much better because they had a Ricky Rubio and they got to play off him a lot. So I think that's why
Yeah,
him leading the second team, I think, would definitely be great.
yeah, I definitely think that our second team is going to be actually pretty scary this year. With you even got Culver, McDaniel's, Rubio.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be exciting because usually with a team you're only excited about the starters, and once the starters go out, don't really have anything to be excited about. But now, I mean, the bench is actually looking pretty scary.
yeah. I think the really underrated piece too is I think when Rondé comes in and plays the 4, Nas at the 5, I think is really underrated because Nas can step outside and hit. He's like a budget Carl Anthony Towns kind of. He can step outside and hit the 3, and he's a bigger body and can rebound like that too. So I think the second we have depth now. I don't think we had depth last year, and we actually have really decent depth.
Yeah, man. So when's our first game of the year?
I believe our first. So they haven't released the schedule yet. We do not play on Christmas Day, so it's either the 22nd or the 23rd will be the first game of the year. But the first preseason game is I want to say 11th or the 12th against the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies. So who do we got? What are the matchups looking like for that game? What are you going to be watching that game? Or are you just going
Yeah,
to check in
I
some
think I'll
highlights?
tune into the first preseason game, and I think we can talk about it. No, I'll definitely tune into the game. Probably try to watch it all. I think Ja Morant's a lot to handle, but I also think that would be an interesting matchup, D'Lo and Ja. I'd like to see how they kind of go off against each other because there's two different play styles. I think Ja more plays like Russell Westbrook, whereas D'Lo
Mhm.
plays a little bit slower, like I don't want to say James Harden, but he plays slower like him. He's not the most athletic guy. He's going to try to
Yeah.
beat you with his skill. So
Yeah.
that'll be a really interesting matchup.
Yeah, I'm just really excited for the basketball season to start up. And what we were talking about college basketball earlier, like I can't believe like it just feels so weird that college basketball just like it just kind of started up out of nowhere to me. At least I wasn't ready for like it just I was just like, wait, is this college basketball on the TV? And dude, last night was the what was it, the Champions Classic?
Yeah, the State Farm. And I always like every single year I get ready for the Champions Classic. I'm like, okay, it's like always going to be Duke, Michigan State, and then we got Kentucky, Kansas. But like, I just it's like the NBA. I'm kind of like waiting. I'm waiting for this season to start. I'm leading up to it. But the college season, I didn't even know it came until it hit us.
Yeah, I was at work last night and I just like looked up at the TV. I'm like, wait, is this the Champions Classic? Like what?
Yeah.
But especially with college basketball this year, it's kind of weird that the Blue Bloods still like aren't even they're not like the top teams this year.
No, I think there's a little bit more talent on each team, but I think you see again, and you see Wisconsin actually as the number 4 team in the nation, Iowa is the number 3 team. You see a lot of teams in the top 10 that are mostly senior led teams. Like Wisconsin's whole starting lineup is seniors this year.
See, that's just classic Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That,
See, my thing with Wisconsin is I think they're good every 3 to 4 years because those kids that come in as freshmen take their time, then they get to redshirt senior, and then they're super good, and that's when they make like the Final Four runs that you usually see.
which is probably going to happen this year, which I hate. I hate to see it, man. I've always hated Wisconsin basketball. It just
just their 3-and-D.
not even, man. Like they're just so fundamentally sound. It's just like annoying.
See, that's what I love about college basketball is those guys play like I kind of like the 40-point games. I like seeing them playing really hard, playing good defense and playing zones and different matchups. Whereas the NBA, you're just seeing guys blow right past each other and just slam it home.
True. I mean, it really is kind of the old-fashioned basketball, especially Iowa, Wisconsin, all this like
Like
Villanova.
I was watching Indiana play Texas actually in the Maui Invitational the other day, and Indiana was just sitting in that 2-3, and they would not let them score. Like they would have to hold the ball and run the shot clock down to 30 seconds every single time because they were just so fundamentally sound in that zone.
Dude, I used to love playing against zones.
Oh yeah, it's launch 3-pointers and
Or
penetrate.
playing zone, dude. Playing zone is so much. It's like
It's so much more. You get so much more hype, I think, when you play zone because you have like your buddies, and it's not all on you if you get beat off your man.
that. It's not as energy consuming.
Yeah, that is true. Playing at the top of the 2-3 is the funnest position in basketball.
See, dude. Yeah. Do you know what the worst is?
Bottom middle literally stinks, and
No,
even
no.
the bottom side stink too because you have to run out and defend the corner, and then you can get penetrated right there.
Okay, but not even in the 2-3, but the bottom of a 1-3-1 is
Oh
the
yeah,
worst.
the run just running baseline side to side
That is the worst like position to be in basketball,
because you
especially
got to have
in
your fastest guy down there, right?
yeah. And they would put me down there, and that wasn't me. And in practice, dude, in practice, like when you just keep doing it back to back to back to back, and they would just swing the ball around from like, and you just literally just sprinting the baseline the whole time.
Yeah,
And if they skip past it, like there's no way you can get all the way over to the other corner.
no,
And then,
it's a long run. It
yeah.
definitely is.
But dude, I would like to see that. I wish there was more zone defense in the NBA.
I wish there was too. I think you actually see a little bit more of it now than you used to. But because in the playoffs, I think the Magic were running 2-3 against the Bucks because Giannis was just killing them on the inside. So I think the reason they don't run zone, obviously NBA players are just too good at 3-point shooters to run a zone against. But those you're too athletic not to just guard man to man.
Yeah, I guess. And the defensive 3 seconds makes it really hard.
Yeah, the middle guy would have to keep going to the top of the key and back
Or the sides, or the sides.
or
Yes.
the sides. Yeah,
See, so that kind of takes like the 2-3 out of it, and I feel like that's kind of the reason they made the defensive 3 seconds. Like,
clog the paint.
well, I mean, yeah, why not? But why is there defensive 3 seconds still? Especially when people can shoot as well as they can now. I feel like that's something that just should be taken out of the game, to be honest.
Well, yeah, I think it's a little bit tougher because obviously in high school basketball, you're not going to have a 7-footer just sitting in the paint because like those guys, if they're just sitting in the paint, like why would I not plug a Shaq type player in the paint and sit him there the whole game.
You know why?
Because
'Cause
big guys can shoot now.
you hit him with a small ball lineup. That's what I'm saying. If they just want to stick a center in the middle, put Karl Anthony Towns at the 5 and just wide open threes.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't know why it's the only it's one of those rules that only applies to the NBA. That's no
Right.
other level of basketball. So I don't know why it's in the game either.
I mean, you could see it in the past, but now I feel like that's something that could kind of be just taken out of the league. So the big story that I actually saw on Snapchat, you know how you like swipe right on Snapchat and there's all these stories. I usually never click on them, but the one I clicked on, I was like, wait, what? And it was
Yeah.
a little gossip about Malik, your guy.
Yeah,
Can you
so I
explain to
guess
us
we can.
what your guy, what happened to him? What he
So, a little story time. So Malik Beasley's birthday was, I think, 2 weeks ago. So he goes off to Miami for his birthday, and now it's just recently surfaced. I think last night was when it came out was him and Larsa Pippen were holding hands, and they're a couple now. They're dating, and Malik had a kid and his wife back home, and they just found out about it. And
wait,
this isn't there was a separate girl that actually I think TMZ leaked the DMs that same weekend of too.
so wait, so he Laura, what's her name?
Larsa.
Larsa Pippen, is that Scottie Pippen's wife?
That's Scottie Pippen's ex-wife that has a little bit of a history of,
The future.
yeah, future Tristan Thompson, dozens of NBA players. Yeah, and I feel bad because Scottie Pippen Jr., his mom is literally, she has OnlyFans. She's dating players his age. Like, this kid's, by the way, Scottie Pippen Jr. is having a great season at Vanderbilt so far. He's averaging, probably going to be drafted next year. So imagine your mom dating these guys that are the same age as you and could possibly be could possibly be your teammate next year. So like,
Imagine if the Timberwolves draft Scottie Pippen Jr. How awkward is that?
that's I don't know, that might be unplayable. Like, I don't know if that's because Scottie Pippen Jr., the thing that's funny is he's been liking tweets like, I feel so bad for this kid, like someone
About
get this
himself?
about his mom. Yeah, and he's like, someone get this man's mom, and like stuff like that. But like, I thought it was a funny joke. I saw a tweet that said his mom's been playing in the NBA longer than Malik Beasley, and I'm like, it's true.
Yeah, it's weird because when I think of Scottie Pippen, I think of like old guy, like 50, because he's pretty old, dude.
Yeah, it's Larsa's 46, I think, so she's double Malik's age.
Hey, Malik, hey, he's a character, man.
I mean, I think it's just bad timing because of obviously his felony charges. I think Malik's been in the news a little bit more than they'd like him to be with the new contract. But I mean, hopefully he can. I don't know. I feel terrible for the family. Obviously, his wife, his kid, because they found out the same time as the public did. So I mean, hopefully Malik can figure it out. I don't know what he's doing. I hope he doesn't date Larsa Pippen. You know, I hope he just. I hope he's doing okay. Hope everything works out there.
I mean, yeah, and now he's also facing a suspension for
Yeah.
his arrest. And when I saw that he was MN Sports News posted on Instagram that he was facing a suspension. I was like, wait, for the Pippen thing? Like, how does that? They can't suspend him for that. But then
No,
I
that was for
saw,
the charges. Yeah.
yeah. So how long do you think he's going to be suspended? Or
I mean, I don't think it's gonna be as bad as people think. It'll probably be like maybe a 10-game suspension or something. Well, honestly, maybe he can get the charges dropped somehow. But luckily we just drafted somebody first overall that's a shooting guard too. So it won't be too. It'll be a big loss because obviously he's the best 3-point shooter on the team besides Cat. But maybe Anthony Edwards can really step up in that role and become that third star if he gets the opportunity.
yeah, it's terrible timing for Malik to be doing something like that. But it's just classic Timberwolves. I mean, we sign a guy.
To 4 years, $60 million.
On
Yeah.
the podcast, we stated that he was that he's a changed man. Like they signed him because they believed in him, and then for him just to go do that, I mean, it's a tough look. But that
I think the big thing is though too, at least it wasn't something with legal issues. It was just a personal thing. I mean, hopefully that can be fixed with some vet. That's why it's important, man. You get a vet like Ed Davis, and hopefully you can just like it's real. Like I think the year we had Kevin Garnett, was it that 2014 or 15 we signed him back?
it was Cat's rookie year, so
Yeah, and I mean, Cat probably thrived being being mentored by Kevin Garnett. So I think you need a player like that in every locker room to really hold it down.
yeah, I mean Ed Davis. Like I don't mean to like I think that is the most vet name of all time.
Yeah, and like D'Lo said it, everyone you talk to loves that dude. He's a hard guy. He's gonna get on you if you're not working hard. So I hope he really brings that to the locker room this year.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I mean for Malik Beasley, like the issues off the court. I mean that doesn't really affect him as a basketball player. I mean it might a little bit, but he's still going to be that basketball player, and that's like he's still going to be a great basketball player. So
And I mean, like, I don't know. I was just looking at his Instagram today because I thought he was gonna be like all down and not posting anything. But dude, he was posting a bunch of stories at the because Timberwolves training camp started yesterday, so everyone reported, and he was hanging out with like a Kogi and having fun, and hopefully he's good. If he's good in the head and he's playing good, then
what
personal life aside.
how do you think that the players in the how do you think the players in the locker room are gonna how are they gonna how did you think they reacted to that? Like when they got to training camp, do you think anyone said anything, or do you think it was just kind of like awkward, or do you think they like clowned him for it? Like what do you think? How do you
I
think
would
that
probably
went
say
down?
more clowning. I don't think it was probably be too awkward. Well,
You
see, it's
can't
tough
clown
because
him. It's terrible. He has a wife and kid.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't. I was just about to say that. Like, I don't know if realistically, probably no one said anything to him, but I don't know.
Because that like, it is terrible. It's really terrible, actually.
Yeah, it is bad. I think I
He
thought I
just got
saw his
married in
wife.
March.
Yeah, his wife's trying to get filed for divorce. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if something wasn't working and there's stuff behind the scenes. So I don't know.
I mean, especially with well, she's probably happy he just got that contract with
Yeah,
the
because
deal.
if they didn't sign a prenup, she's definitely getting half of that new $60 million contract. So
I mean, that's tough. That's tough for Malik. We might be seeing him in some more commercials lately, trying to get some more.
yeah, we might be seeing him at a what is those Kirk Cousins commercials he does, the Pizza Ranch.
Brand does sleep number. Kirk, I just don't feel like Kirk.
Gets the biggest Vikings contract and does all these random commercials. Do you think he just likes doing them?
No, dude, he's trying to get. He's a really smart guy, and the funny thing is like he's the most boring guy ever too. So I don't know why these brands would want him in their commercials because he's just so boring. Like he's literally the most boring person.
He's got like that. Everyone knows Kirk's vibe in Minnesota, so I think everyone just whenever a Kirk commercial comes on, everyone just loves it.
It's more of a meme, honestly. People just think it's funny
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
yeah, a lot of stuff going on with the Wolves right now. But that could make it potentially even more exciting. Add to the headlines.
See, I don't know. Is there always this much like drama going on with the Wolves, or is it just like now that we're paying attention to it?
I don't. I mean, I don't know. I think there's always like drama, like people are getting frustrated because we're losing. So I
Yeah,
don't. Maybe this is kind of new. I guess I don't know.
it's kind of new. I don't know if I like it or not, but I'm really excited for the preseason to start next week on Timberwolves Talk.
Wow. Okay, I just got a notification from Shams that 48 out of the 546 players tested positive for coronavirus.
48.
Out of like 546.
All right, so do some quick math. What is that? What's that percentage there? Anyone in the comments? Oakview, Aaron Johnson, you guys got the math there?
500.
While
It's
you're doing
about
it,
like 8% of players have COVID right now. So I mean,
I mean, yeah,
that's bound to happen though. That's pretty normal numbers even for the NFL, that percentage. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna mean anything. In the long run, we got a couple more weeks till season two. Plus, I think partially that would have to do with everyone coming in from what they've been doing
Yeah,
directly
I
into
mean,
camp
you'd rather have all these players get it right now than in
during the
the middle of
season.
the season.
Yeah,
But so yeah, that's gonna conclude our Timberwolves talk for the week. You know what? Let's get into some outdoors. I got a Netflix show that I've been just hooked to for the last 2 weeks, and I've been watching it. I've been watching it every night, 2 or 3 episodes. You ever heard of Meat Eater?
I've never heard of it. No, what is it?
So it's this shit, I don't know if his name's it's Steve Ranella, I think is his name. But he's been on the Joe Rogan podcast a few times. And it's just it's a hunting show. So he'll go out to like Wyoming and get with these like guides, and he'll be on horses, and they'll like stalk mule deer, and then he'll shoot them, and then he'll cut them up, show you how he cooks them, and then it's just
That's
he does
awesome.
fishing. He does it's super easy to watch too. It's one of those shows where like it's just so easy to watch. You can just have it on in the background, and it just goes by super fast.
So we got a question in the comments. What channel will the Wolves preseason games be on? I believe FSN North.
There we go. There
There
we
we go.
go, Aaron. By the way, thanks for tuning in, Aaron. We see your comments over here. Really appreciate it. But yeah, man, I would highly recommend watching Meat Eater. It's made me want to get into hunting.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely have to give it a look. I think next year maybe, hopefully if we're not as busy as we usually are with COVID and stuff, hopefully get out for the next year season. I think that'd be really fun.
And I think we'd have a super like unique touch at it, because usually with hunting it's like if your dad does it, you do it, and there's really no other way to get into it. So I feel
Mhm.
like there's a lot of people in our situations where our dads don't really hunt. I don't know about Dwayne if he kind of
He hunts, but he doesn't go like he. It's not like a tradition to go every year and do it. He'll do it every once every 2 or 3 years. So
yeah. So like I feel like there's a lot of people in our shoes that like want to get into hunting, but they just like don't know how. They don't know what steps you need to take. So I feel like we could kind of take everyone along on that journey and just provide like a cool perspective from it.
I mean, like I don't know if I guess I just don't know. I don't know, man. We got a lot of stuff planned for them. They're in for a treat. I think we got a lot of cool things coming up. We can talk about keeping on the outdoors thing along with hunting is we actually got an ice fishing date kind of scheduled. So I think we'll get to see some ice fishing content from us.
Yeah, actually, there's a fishing guide at my work, unofficial fishing guide. He offered to take us out, show us a few spots, and just kind of he said he'll provide us with rods, and he'll just, you know what, show us how it's done, and we'll take you guys along on the journey. He's a very interesting personality that I think a lot of people on the channel will enjoy. So I'm really excited about that. And then we have a tournament already that we booked for up in Minot, Wisconsin.
Yep.
So I think that'll be really fun too. So yeah, and we have the beginners ice fishing thing too. Like we've never really ice fished before, so we're gonna be bringing you guys along on the journey. What gear do you need to go ice fishing? I have no clue.
Yeah, like I don't have any of those short rod like the ice fishing rods. I don't have any like ice jigs. I really don't know. Like, are we fishing for walleye, panfish, bass? Like I've never
Zero.
done it before.
I
Yeah.
have zero clue. I don't know how to make the hole. Like I know you got the auger, but like so like yeah, we have no clue what we're doing, and I think that's kind of that's kind of the perspective our channel's had though for forever. We're always just like we have no clue what we're doing. We're not like these big outdoors guys.
But we always make it work. So I think
Oh, we try.
we're we're trying to get some fishing. We're gonna get the ice fishing content for you guys over winter break sometime in December, and it's a possibility we might even be able to go down and get some real fishing in if we have time. So
Yeah,
stay tuned for that.
so we're gonna try to plan out a trip. I don't know if we're gonna bring the boat. Do you think should we bring the boat?
I mean, I we'll see. We'll keep them into. Maybe we'll keep them surprised if we bring the boat or not.
Because yeah, it's winterized, and I don't know if But yeah, so we're up in Wisconsin right now, so we're just gonna drive. We're just gonna figure out literally where the closest place where we can open water fish is, and we're just gonna drive there, rent a hotel, and just pond top, John B style with the Apple Maps. And yeah, I think that'd just be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I think that'd be no. Then we'll get some fishing content out for you guys. And I think next year what we kind of want to do too is so like when this happens again, when the podcast, like we're gonna be doing double, like it's gonna be an amazing summer because we're gonna have the podcast and we're gonna have our outdoors content, and it's just gonna be awesome. But when this happens again, when fishing slows down and we can't go out on the open water, I think what we were thinking is maybe we keep some videos that haven't been released and then release
Yeah.
them at points in the winter so we can get more fishing content out as well.
Yeah, so we've talked about the Basshole worldwide tour that's going to happen next year in the early spring, where we're going to go travel across the country and maybe actually venture into Canada or Mexico just to make it an international tour. So what we're going to do for that, that's going to be a really highly produced video series. We're going to have a cameraman. It's going to be like highly edited. So for that, I think what I'm thinking is I think we're going to save that for I don't know if we're gonna save that for the winter months, but just like kind of store those, release them like once a month maybe, but just like have
Yeah,
that.
make them special, definitely.
Yeah, and I just think that's gonna. I'm so excited to get that planned out, and I really think I want to be able to interact with the subscribers on that tour. Maybe meet up with a few, go to your lakes, show us how to fish because we don't have the most experience. We haven't really fished anywhere else besides Wisconsin. So like, just show us along how you fish your lake, and I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, so plan on that. Hopefully next summer if COVID dies down and Canada lifts its restrictions and we can go up there. So
I mean, yeah, I don't even know what we'd do in Canada. To be honest, would we just find a random lake or what?
I guess like is that the Canada dream?
I don't know though, because like the way I see it, northern Minnesota is basically Canada.
That's true.
So we basically live in Canada. There's there's really not that much.
Somewhat.
We basically live in Canada, man. So I mean, we could just go up to northern Minnesota and say it's Canada if we
That's
really,
true.
if we really wanted to. If we really want,
But no, we got them with the. We'll make sure we get the we'll get the Canada footage.
for sure. So yeah, man, but stickers, they might have came today in the mail actually.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't know, or it's tomorrow, but excited to see those. Hopefully they turned out well.
Yeah. So if anyone's listening, we're our first sticker sale is actually going to be probably later this week, and we're gonna put it. I think probably put it out for sale on Instagram and just DM us if you want a sticker, and we'll get you it.
No, yeah, we're gonna have a big release of it. It's gonna be have you ever heard of the brand Supreme?
Yep.
It's gonna kind of be like a Supreme drop. So you're gonna have to be waiting on Instagram at 8 a.m. and just refreshing until they go live. That's kind of the way I see it. Uh,
Really, really rare drop. We
it's
got
a,
a comment. Aaron Johnson, great luck. 40-inch pike, 34-inch sturgeon. It's great numbers.
so Aaron, where are you fishing out of, man?
Where are you from?
Well, I mean, you can't ask that. You can just you gotta.
That's true. What
Benny
state?
Ben Gilbert, our most loyal fan. He's excited for the pond topping videos. He had a comment up here. Oh, he says BB's a bum.
Chad Beebe is a bum.
Whoa, come on now. You can't be saying that anymore, man. BB BB's proved us all wrong.
Another Minnesotan. Okay.
Lake of the Woods, dude. Didn't you go up there?
That's what I wanted to do. I want to get to Lake of the Woods eventually. Our boat's just not big enough.
Well, maybe Aaron's got a boat that's big enough.
I like this. I kind of like reading the comments at the latter end of the podcast, seeing what everyone's got to say.
Greg, dude, Greg's just a classic subscriber. He says Malik needs some help. Greg, what do you mean? Do you
Veteran
mean?
leadership, maybe.
I think does he need mental help? That's kind of what I'm. That's what I'm thinking. He needs therapy. Malik out of the league in less than 2 years. Changed our mind. I mean, it's kind of trending towards that, Eli. And Eli, we gave you a shout out earlier in the podcast about your basketball career with Jay. And
Get that. Could you
okay,
try again?
What do you got going over there?
Well, yeah, Eli, we might want you to come on the podcast and talk about how Suggs was as a teammate and if you think the Timberwolves should draft him next year.
Yeah. So I mean,
so this is kind of the last topic we're going to bring up on this podcast. So lately I've been noticing on Instagram, on Snapchat, basically anywhere, every single person is posting what music they're listening to, like their top albums of the year, like how many minutes of music they listen to, what their most played song was, and it's honestly just like kind of creepy. For me, like I think music is kind of like I think it's kind of like personal information, to be honest.
yeah, I mean, like it's. I get what Spotify is doing. It's kind of cool, but like I don't know how it turned into a trend that
Are you
everyone just
muted,
like. It's
man?
like, am I muted?
Are you muted?
Are we here? All right. Hey, hello.
Can you guys hear Chris? Because I can't hear him. King Physique, can you hear him? Oh gosh.
Oh no. Do we
Gosh,
have?
Chris,
Do we have?
I'm gonna remove you for a second. All right, here we go.
Hello. Hello.
Try taking out your mic. Oh, you can hear Chris. Oh, so it's me. It's me. I can't hear Chris.
Oh, so I guess it's Peyton.
This
Can
is
everyone hear
embarrassing.
Peyton? Because I can hear Peyton.
We're gonna have Chris just talk for a few seconds.
So Peyton's all
Chris, talk
good.
to him about anything.
All right. Yeah. So Peyton's Wi-Fi at home has been so bad, and he's always making fun of my Wi-Fi here at school. It's never my fault, so I don't know. So everyone can hear me, okay? Okay. So I don't know. I want to hear. I want some comments. Okay, so they can hear both. I want some comments on everyone's album of the year and/or top song. Everyone. I want Ben, Jack, Eli, Aaron, everyone in the comments. Top album of the year, Greg Weasley. That's the next segment we're coming up on. We're gonna see if we can get Peyton back in here, but yeah, what's up with everyone? How are we doing? Do I think Beasley will be out of the league in 2 years? I sure hope not. I would say no, just because I think he's a very valuable. Maybe, well, I mean, maybe you have the concerns with the. Oh, there's Peyton. Maybe you have the concerns mentally, but when you have a guy that shoots 45% from three, I mean, on 8 attempts a game, he's gonna be on a team somewhere and he's gonna get paid a lot of money. So I don't know if he'll be out of the league in 2 years, but yeah. Let's see. Malik needs some help. He definitely needs some help. I think he needs some veteran leadership, and I think Grande Hollis Jefferson's a good veteran leader. I think hopefully Ed Davis and Ricky can do it for him. I think Anthony Edwards needs that guy as well, because I think it's tough. I think it's tough coming into the league as a rookie without good veteran leadership. So, do you think Edwards will be rookie of the year or LaMelo? I don't know if either one of them is going to be rookie of the year, honestly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
How's the audio?
It's fine. Yeah, it's good. We were just talking about. I said everyone comment their favorite album because that was going to be our next segment. But I think my rookie of the year, I think we said in the last podcast, I think it's going to be Obi Toppin or Killian Hayes. I don't think Edwards or LaMelo is going to win it this year.
Solid choices. And yeah, my audio might be terrible, to be honest, because I can't talk with these in Zoom classes because everyone says it hurts their ears. But yeah, sorry about those technical difficulties. Honestly, I have no clue what happened there. But hey, thanks for sticking around, guys. So I don't know.
Let me get we just kind of went through and everyone commented their album. But what is your? Do you want to go top 3 or just top album of the year and go in depth on it?
So I'm just gonna go with one album this year because it's not been a good year for music. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. There hasn't really been an album that I've just really just listened to. Usually every year there's always these albums that just come out and then I'll just listen to it for like a month straight and that's all I listen to. But this year it really felt like there was no really solid albums besides My Turn by the young Lil Baby. And I just really think that that's the most solid album, especially with the deluxe. He came out with the normal album and then the deluxe album, and both of them were really solid projects.
Yeah, I really like that album too. I think that's honestly, I think it was probably the best. But I also like 21's album. I don't think it was bad, but I do think My Turn was probably the best rap album this year.
Yeah, and just what Jack's saying right now in the comments is he says it's been more singles rather than good albums this year. And I 100% agree with that. And I think that that's the way that music's going now. I think that music is not going to, because the same way with it, like how baseball is going out. Like I think attention spans of people are going down and they don't have time to listen to a whole album. So they just want to listen to one song. And I think that's kind of the way music's going. And that's really sad for me. But I think that's just how it is.
I think another thing that plays into just releasing a single is if they just release one single instead of placing them all in an album, if they release singles at a time, they'll get, first of all, if it's a banger song, you're going to get as many streams on that single as you would for the entire album if it's going to make top charts. So why not just release songs periodically? And like J. Cole has started to do that. He really hasn't released full albums lately. It's just been singles. So he's just trying to get more streams and more. I mean, that's the only way you're going to make money nowadays is streams.
Yeah, and it's tough because that's like the longevity of that is just not there.
No.
Because classic albums, I think that's going, and really I think we just need Kendrick to drop an album.
And Greg Weasley actually kind of, yeah, I agree. Well, first of all, Eli said Savage Mode 2. 21's album was the album of the year. What do you think about that comparison to My Turn? How would you compare My Turn to Savage Mode? In what ways is it better? What ways is it worse?
So yeah, I'm not going to come on here and pretend like I listened to both albums the same because I think I gave 21 Savage album like one, maybe half a listen. I don't even think I listened to all the songs, and I didn't really give it a full shot. I'm not going to lie, but with My Turn, like that's been in my rotation ever since it came out. So I'm very biased towards that.
Maybe some selection bias a little bit.
Some selection bias. There we go.
All right.
But really, Eli, you think that that's better than I Am Greater Than I Was, his other album? It's kind of hard to ask questions on this.
I know that's the bad part.
It's kind of
awkward. Like when you have a guest on here, you can just fire them away and they keep answering.
It's kind of awkward because I'll ask a question, but yeah, Greg. First of all, it's a great name, man, Greg Weasley. But I actually really liked After Hours by The Weeknd, and I know that Complex actually put that as their number one album of the year. I saw. But before that, it really didn't have much recognition. But Chris, I think you put me on that album, to be honest.
Yeah, so that's my number one album of the year is After Hours by The Weeknd, and obviously everyone just knows Blinding Lights, obviously. But there's a lot more. The Weeknd in itself is such a weird he goes from genre to genre. He can sing rap, he can sing R&B, he can sing sad music, he can sing pop. And this album's more of an R&B rap album, and it had the one pop hit in Blinding Lights, but his voice is just like he can do so many things with his voice, and I feel like he can stretch it out. He can go low. He can make a hit single. Like I think he's one of the most versatile artists we have today. So I think he made a really good album. You have Heartless, Blinding Lights, After Hours, Till I Bleed Out. There's a lot of really good songs in that album. So I gotta have to put that as my number one.
For sure, man. I was hanging out with some buddies a couple nights ago, and we were watching a Weekend old music video, "Low Lights," with Future.
Or Low Life, yeah, that song's
And
really
dude,
good.
remember that man's hair?
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It wasn't that like the half pigtail and the dreads on the other side or whatever.
No. When he had the skateboard on his head.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do remember that.
And I was laughing so, dude, because like,
You know
how
what
do
I
you
just
sleep?
realized? Hold on. He does a new hairstyle for every album.
Really?
Yeah, like every single album that comes out, he changes his hair. Cause like the Hills album, he had the half dreads, he had the ponytail. The Starboy album, he just had like a shave, and then the Low Life, he had the skateboard cut. And now this one, he has like a fro again.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what most artists do though. Like Kendrick, when he goes into album mode, he doesn't shave, he doesn't get a haircut, he just grows it out and looks homeless. Same with J. Cole.
Like Jimmy
Like,
Butler.
yeah, I saw a quote that said like the more homeless a rapper looks, the better the album's gonna be. And it just had a picture of like, J. Cole just like looking goofy. But
Yep.
yeah, but with The Weeknd with that hair, I don't know how he slept. Like, what if he fell asleep in class and woke up like, and it's just like
It was like the
does it,
Amon Shumpert hair.
or like oh gosh, what is that dude's
I think
name?
Nerlens Noel had his hair or
No,
something
no, no,
too.
no, not Noel. What was that guy on the Spurs? Lonnie Walker.
Oh, Lonnie Walker. Yep.
Wait, let me pull up this picture for you guys.
But yeah, Eli, definitely agree. We need Kenny. It's time for you to drop a new album. We need a Kendrick album immediately. It's been a little bit too long.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't know. It's tough.
It's
I
the
don't know
same
when.
thing with it's a Chance the Rapper. He gave us a BS album. Like I say, his last album was Coloring Book because the last album he gave us was pathetic. I thought. I don't know about you.
Like what?
Yeah, man, he can't wear a hat.
No, but yeah. Speaking of Chance the Rapper, man, that was one of the worst albums I've ever heard.
100% one of the worst just terrible, man.
What's that one song? What's the one song that people liked with DaBaby?
Oh,
Hot Shower. That is the worst.
Hot Shower.
That is the worst song I've ever heard.
Yeah, dude, it was just I hate to say it, but like he got married and then he talked about his wife too much in his music and it just became bad. Like
that wasn't it though. It wasn't even the same Chance.
No, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't the same Chance the Rapper we had before. Like Coloring Book was a masterpiece, I thought.
See, for me, I think Coloring Book.
Acid Rap was better, but I'm just like those two albums are great. Like those are some of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough though because like he's completely turned into like a new man and he's like helping out. Like he's like I saw a thing. He's like the most influential person in Chicago.
It very well could be.
So he's like doing all this stuff that's great, but his music's kind of going downhill. And like, I guess that's just kind of like the way his music was made. Like he was on drugs during like most of acid rap, and like, so like from that perspective, that's why his music was so good. But then when he turned his life around, then his music kind of went downhill.
I guess trade-offs.
Trade-offs. So what would you rather have? I mean, as a selfish fan, I would rather have better music, but I think overall for Chance, I think it's I mean,
he does a lot, yeah.
And especially with his like Justin Bieber collabs now, like I think he's just going off into a different realm here.
I 100% agree.
And I don't know if I like it, but hey, you know what? Can't really complain.
Gotta let him do what he wants to do, I guess.
Seriously, we went to a Chance the Rapper concert.
Yeah, that was
many-
awesome.
That was right before we got the boat.
Yeah, that was right before we did get the boat. That was a while ago.
That was a long time ago. That was hype though. He was a pretty good performer. We were way up.
Yeah, dude, we were skybox.
We weren't even in the same room as he was. What was that laugh?
I don't know.
The weirdest laugh I've ever heard.
It is a different experience though, experiencing a concert from the seats than in the mosh. Like when you're in the mosh, it's more so like you're part of the concert, but when you're in the seats, it's like you're enjoying the concert.
Oh, for sure. I think the mosh pit is kind of like I'd say it's almost part of the act. It's part of this. It's part of the concert, like you just said, and then you're just observing all that when you're in the seats. I would much rather be in the mosh pit if I'm
Same
gonna
here,
be
yeah.
honest. But I mean, I don't know about anymore. I don't think that's going to be a thing for a while.
No, man, world might change for a while.
Which is just terrible. Which is terrible, man. I never really got to go to many concerts before.
Yeah.
I feel like we're at the age right now. Like this is the concert going age is what we're at, and we just kind of missing out on all that. I said I would pay $300 for a Travis Scott concert ticket right now.
Or like even like Lala right now would be like I'd 100% pay a Lala ticket just to go to another concert for sure.
Oh, for
Like
sure. Man.
how's that gonna work? Like how are they gonna do that this coming spring? Or is
They
it
won't.
summer usually? You don't think so?
No, they won't do it. Or I mean, I don't know. I think things might be better by then, but I just don't see them doing a huge ass music festival.
Because I keep hearing different things about a Christmas vaccine, and then I hear like I don't know. I don't know because that's going to be the only way things are going to go back to normal.
I mean, yeah, man. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say in regards to that. But have you ever been to a music festival?
No, I haven't. No.
Why'd you have to think about that? You don't remember?
Like I've been to like smaller ones, but not an actual like music festival with big name artists. No.
See, so I actually have. I went to Soundset.
Yep.
I think 2018, summer 2018, and we, without knowing it, dude, we saw some huge names. Like, so we got there pretty early, me and my buddy Skylar, and like we wanted to get there for the JID concert,
Mm-hmm.
and this was before his like XXL freestyle. So this was before he was even like he was a no name. Like, and Skylar was on this guy I don't even think he was signed to Dreamville. But Skylar was a huge fan. He's like, this is the next guy up. So we got there like 2:00 and we went and saw JID. There was maybe like 400 people there.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the stage right over there is this white guy with curly hair comes on. And I'm like, who is this guy? And I didn't even know until this summer that it was Jack Harlow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's because his music just kind of started popping off over the summer.
Yeah, so I saw Jack Harlow way back.
Jeez, yeah, that's crazy. Because now you think of like you think of like the what's that huge song he has with the
What's
remix?
Poppin'?
What's poppin'?
What's poppin'? Tyler, he's got
He
Tyler
just made
Hero.
a Tyler Hero one. Yeah, I listened to that the other day.
I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of him as a rapper, but
No.
it's kind of cool to say that I saw him, even though I didn't even know. But who else did I see? I saw Tyler the Creator was there, A Boogie, and then Migos. This was right in the Migos prime, so like.
Yeah, so that's a big name at that time.
Yeah, that was a huge name. And then I think Logic was the last person, but we left early because we didn't want to see Logic.
Yeah, Logic's okay.
But like the year before that, they had Travis Scott closing, and the year before that, they had Uzi closing.
Dang, you guys kind of got screwed with the.
We got snubbed with Logic, man. But yeah,
That's
dude.
awesome,
So
though.
yeah, and I don't know. I hope that it can go back to that, just so we can take advantage of that. And I feel like I feel like everyone once they get to go to an actual concert will be just so much more excited for it.
Yeah, I agree.
And the energy is just going to be crazy.
Definitely. Well, yeah, I think we hit most of our topics today. Just wanted to, we haven't had. Well, how long has it been since the last podcast?
I don't know, man. I was trying to figure that out. So.
And thank you guys for all the support because we actually just had 2 of our videos reach over 1,000 views. So that's pretty big milestone for us. So.
Yeah, this was definitely our biggest week that we've had, and especially shout out to everyone in the comment section. We got to get a name. We got to get a name for the comment section. You know how
Yeah,
all
that'd
those
be awesome. Yep.
like a little
Yeah, they all have like their names for their fans. Like I don't know what ours would be. The Holers?
bro-
I don't know.
my brother my brother always makes fun of it. He says the holes.
The Holes? I kind of like the Holers or the Holes.
I don't know, man.
The A-holes? Maybe the A-holes.
No, that's weird, man.
I don't know. We'll have to think about that. We'll come back next time.
But appreciate all the holes today in the comments. It really means a lot.
Yeah, because you guys are when we blow up one day and you guys can think back, you were like one of 5 people on a private live stream with us. So
Like we're literally saying their names live, like their full names live in the comments. Eli likes the holes.
I think the Holes is fine. We'll have to
So
patent
yeah,
it though.
if we ever get like a hate comment or something, then we'll just send the holes after them.
Yep. I mean, hey, we put a new patent out today, Timberwolves Talk. I mean,
So do you think that it hasn't been patented before?
I feel like we would have seen that by now, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but but yeah. So I don't know when the last time we did a podcast was, but whatever. We're gonna try to keep it more consistent here, especially with the holidays. Maybe we can ramp it up a little bit because everyone's just gonna be kind of sitting at home.
Yeah, we might. I think we can definitely do two a weeks. So I mean, I don't know. I'd be down to do that.
All right, man. Well, yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week at some point. You know, have a great week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys.
Later.